Good morning, everybody. So, where we are right now, we have been through the digestive system and the respiratory system, and I'm really excited because we're doing my favorite system today, the circulatory system. I don't know why it's my favorite. I honestly can't tell you. It's always been my favorite, and I think it's really fun to learn about, and I have been infatuated with the human heart for a very long time, and it just is what it is. It be like that sometimes. The main organ in your circulatory system is your heart. This is what your heart looks like as it is beating inside of your body. If you cut the heart in half, you would see that there are 4 chambers, 2 atria on top and 2 ventricles on the bottom. The heart works with your veins, arteries, and capillaries to make sure that blood is constantly flowing throughout your body. If you didn't have blood flowing throughout your body, it wouldn't be able to reach your organs and everything wouldn't work properly, which is necessary for survival. So a couple of days ago, we learned about the respiratory system, and that involved you breathing in air and oxygen, and then your body releasing carbon dioxide. Well, when you breathe in the air, what your heart is doing, it is pumping blood to your lungs, to the walls of your lungs, and it's receiving that oxygen that you breathe in. So the heart is a really complex machine, and I'm going to do the best that I can to explain how it works, but there are many parts to it and a lot of different steps, so just try to stay with me the best you can. I've pulled up a picture of the heart drawn and labeled for y'all, and I have it pulled up on my screen that I'm looking at while I'm talking, so if it looks like I have bad eye contact, it's because I do. But if you look at the heart at first, it kind of looks like a really crazy and really confusing road map. Back in my day, we didn't have Google Maps, and so I remember going on road trips and my mom would get the papers out. I don't know how to read them. I still don't. But that's not important. What I'm going to do now is break this down for y'all, so hopefully it makes a little bit more sense. So let's cover some basics first. Here you see words like artery and vena cava, and all of those are important for different reasons. The arteries are what is responsible for sending blood out to your body. Veins, like the pulmonary vein right here, brings blood into your heart. So that is how those two different things work together. That's important to know. Let's look at the right atrium first. You know that there's 4 chambers. There's the right atrium, left ventricle, and right ventricle. What you might not know is that blood that comes into the right atrium does not slip over into the left. It stays on the right. Blood on the right stays on the right, blood on the left stays on the left, because they do different things. So you have the superior vena cava, and you have the inferior vena cava down here. These two are the main veins in our bodies. They bring blood into your heart from all over. Eventually, it's like a drain. All of those drains lead to the ocean, your heart being the ocean. So when blood comes into your right atrium from those 2 vena cavas, what happens is over time, the right atrium will fill. Like in a heartbeat, it'll fill. And once it's full, it goes down through the valve, the tricuspid valve, but that's not important, into your right ventricle. If you look at your right ventricle, you notice that the walls around it are a little bit thicker than the ones that we saw before. The job of the ventricle is to squeeze the blood back into the body, so it has to be a little bit stronger. With the right ventricle, it squeezes the blood up through the pulmonary valve and into your pulmonary arteries, which means that the right ventricle sends blood out primarily to your lungs. I know you've missed my drawings. So let's talk about the left side. The left side receives its blood from the pulmonary veins. Pulmonary means lungs. So the left side gets its blood from your lungs. Once you breathe in that oxygen, the blood pumps into the walls, gets the oxygen, and brings it back into your veins. Once the left atrium fills up, it goes down to the left ventricle. And the left ventricle is responsible for squeezing that blood back out through your aorta. This is your aorta. And I'm going to be honest, without an aorta, your heart can't do its job. So the aorta is the largest artery in the human body, and its job is to send all of the blood everywhere else. We have the right side, which sends it just to the lungs, and then the left side sends your blood everywhere else to the extremities where it needs to go. That is your circulatory system in a nutshell. Some fun facts about your circulatory system. I told you earlier that the digestive system was one of the longest systems in your body. Well, the circulatory system actually makes that one look kind of small. If you were to take all of your veins and arteries and stretch them out end to end, it would be about 60,000 miles long. Also, your body pumps about 2,000 gallons of blood a day. That's how much blood is processed. And it beats about 115,000 times each day. As far as how big your heart is, it's about the size of an adult fist. So it's really not that big. For such an important job, I would have expected it to be a little bit bigger. So go find your parents, show them how to make a fist. This is your blood pumping through a heart. I hope you enjoyed it.